All right, next form, we're going to utilize the React Router form component. So React Router has their own form component. So we're going to see how that works. If you haven't already, go ahead and install React Router DOM. We did that in the last episode, or last video. Episode sounds weird. Yeah, so just a base form here, nothing special. Let's go ahead and take this element and let's put it inside of a router. So I'm going to create a new router, different from last video. Create browser router, create routes from elements, and then our route will be a path of the home page, and our element will be query parameters. React router form. React router form. Okay, let's see if I can maybe write it out like this. No, it doesn't like that. Okay, so then that's our router. Let's go ahead and use our router provider and pass in the router. Router. Okay, so now nothing's changed here with our form, but now our element lives inside the router. So we can utilize React Router DOM's stuff. So let's jump into our form. And the first thing we're going to do, instead of using the native HTML form element, we'll use the form component from React Router DOM. Okay, and then we need to give all of our elements names, or all of our inputs name attributes, which is already done. So email is a name attribute of email, username is a name attribute of username, etc. And then we can pass in to our form a method, we'll just say post, and a action, we'll just do to the home route. We'll keep the action to the same route as where our element lives. Okay, so now we need to create what's called an action. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's create a new folder called actions. New file. Let's just call it a sign up action.ts. Okay, so we're going to export const sign up action is equal to, it's an async. Let's pretend we're sending it to a database or something. And we're going to get a request object that we can destructure. And this will be of the type action function args from React Router DOM. And then we can get the form data from this request. So we can do await request.form data. And then we can get all the values using the nice object.fromEntries method. Form data. So I guess here, I'm not going to do it here, but here you can do your validation check. And then let's just log our values. Console.log values, and then send to database or API. ... And then we return null here. React Router DOM needs you to return null or something. For now, we'll just return null because we're not doing anything with the data. Okay, so that's our action. So what do we do with this action? We need to attach it to our route. So we're going to do it inside of our route. So we have a path, we have an element, but then we also have an attribute called action. And we can use our sign up action. Sign up action. So now we have our action attached to our route, home route or slash. So we're calling the action here when we submit the form. So now let's go ahead and use the form. So our email, let's just use our usual giraffe at example.com. Username giraffe, password elevated, color we can do blue. I am a giraffe, and submit. And we get our values here. And that's it. That's how we use the built-in form component, and we use the methods and action attribute. But this is very similar to Next.js, actually, because I learned about this after using Next.js. I think it's a really cool feature that people probably don't know with React Router DOM if they just use it for routes. But yeah, we nicely use the action attribute to send our data wherever we need to. In terms of error handling and resets, I would go to documentation for that. For now, we're just doing a simple logging of the values. Yeah, awesome. That's React Router DOM. It's a form element. Really cool stuff, in my opinion.